Morning, it's Misha Naomi. Get me La Falter. I was just thinking about just some lived experiences that I've had. So when you have a past life attempting to come to the surface, it's like having a knot of rage and anger about the way that you died, and a variety of people locked into that, and a variety of scenarios that are around that incident that caused your death. So what happens is you end up experiencing what I call bleed-throughs. And it's patterns, relationship issues, things in life, work, relationship stuff that loop. And you've experienced these probably more than one time if you break down the complex issue into its minimum portions. You probably have like repeats of patterns. And what's happening is that throughout your life, it's trying to initiate forgiveness for this, because you often know people that caused your death in a past life. And so here, a good example of one that worked its way out, a past life that was working its way out without being processed through a past life redemption, was I was working with a gentleman, and I really liked him. I just had this really like warm reaction to him where I just really liked his person. I just really enjoyed him, and it was almost this like deep love. You know, like I really like him. You know, he's a nice fellow. Don't know him at all, but I just had this response. That can be a sign that someone murdered you, because your spirit flips around and loves them. So if they have like no real reaction to you whatsoever, you can just be whatever. But you have this like intense, like, oh, I love you. It can mean that they murdered you at some stage. That's a Inuit teaching that the spirit flips back around, and made sense of like the telltale heart. It's not the beating heart underneath the floor that's like, you murdered me. It's I love you, I love you, I love you. And it's maddening because you murdered them. You were upset enough that you murdered them. And then they love you. And it's this really intense, and you're kind of whatever about it, but you do have this draw to them for some reason. But yeah. Any which way, we're working together. And then one day we're at the crystals and I'm teaching him things about crystals. And he's like, you know, all of a sudden he looks at my eyes and he's like, whoa, so are those your real eyes? Are those your real eyes? And I was like, yeah, those are my eyeballs. Like, yeah. And he was just like, wow. Then he went to a market and he was like, oh, I went to this market and I found these fucking dragon eyes. And this is your eye. I got it for you. I have to give you this eye. So he gives me this dragon eye, and he holds it up in the mirror beside my eye, and he's like, can you see? It's your eye. And to an extent, yes, I could see, but I wasn't seeing what he was seeing. Exactly, that kind of thing. And I was like, interesting, you're returning an eye. And around that time, lots of my clients were getting their eyes returned. So when the collective is moving something, we all move things. So I got given back this eye, and then we were working together, and he was not really doing anything. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, you know, you want a task? Here's a task. Do this needs to be done. Your second day at work, third day at work, or whatever with us here. These are the things that happen here. It's fucking super chill. So, you know, it often falls on the female of the staff to clean up after the boys, and that's bullshit. So here are the things that you should be doing, and clean up, you know? Just simple. Like, not here to be somebody's mother. And, you know, so we're co-workers, right? Then he went from there and filed a complaint and quit. And told my boss that I was a micromanaging bitch. And I was like, oh, really? And so that came down because my boss was lovely, and is lovely. He's a wonderful man. So he was very honest, came down and let me know what had been said. And I was like, ah. So the next time he came in, I was like, oh, you're not working with us anymore, are you? And he's like, no, I got other stuff going on, this and that, and this. And I was like, and I'm a micromanaging bitch, am I? And he was like, whoa, and I was like, what, you have no fucking balls? You can't fucking tell me if I'm fucking upsetting you because I'm fucking doing, and he's like, well, just, you know, and I was like, whatever, man, fuck, whatever, fucking grow a set. And I was like, learn to fucking stand up to a fucking woman if you're uncomfortable, and don't just fucking bail quit your job and fucking say that she's a micromanaging bitch behind her back. And I was like, whatever, dude, it's all good. Just, like, fucking grow a set. And then he came back, like, 3 days later, and he was like, is Naomi here? And I heard, and I was in the back, and I'm like, fuck, whatever, I don't, like, you know, people, whatever. And then he came in the back, and he's like, I haven't been able to sleep. He's like, I don't do this. I don't fucking do this. I never feel bad. I never feel bad. I never apologize, ever. I don't do this. But he's like, but I haven't been able to sleep. I have to apologize to you. I have to apologize to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that to you. I can't believe I did that to you. Like, you're like the coolest chick I've ever met. And like, I can't believe I fucking did that to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he burst into tears, and I burst into tears, and I forgave him, and we both cried. And so that incident is a past life bleed through, coming to a state of forgiveness, which in a redemption we do that process. We talk to the spirits, we do a little bit less emotional and find out what you need to forgive, and then we work on forgiving them, and hopefully you can forgive them. Not always. Sometimes we need quite a bit of backstory to be able to come to a place of empathy and forgive them. So it was very intense for both of us. It released and shifted things, and then his life bloomed. I snuffled around in it. I was like, okay, what's going on here? And it turns out, yeah, we were both high status clan leaders, and there was war, and he was one of my cohorts. And we were at war with a variety of people, and it was shit. And we were making military strategies and organizing things, and yeah, I was fucking taking control because certain things weren't being taken into consideration around everything that we were dealing with. And at one point he made a deal with the other side to deliver an eye and to murder me and remove my eye so I wouldn't be able to incarnate back quickly. And when I did incarnate back, I'd be stuck in this kind of struggle of not being able to clearly see things. Yeah, so it's just one of those funny things. And so yeah, it's really interesting sometimes how we have these heightened animation. Those heightened animation points, they're often bleed-throughs of a past life that is trying to get forgiveness for what went on. So yeah, just really interesting moment of a return, a physical return of an eye, of a mistake that this person made. Probably close to repeat wording about the way we were doing war tactics and my intensity of my opinion of what needed to be done for appropriate cleanup, and tending to all aspects of things, and having proper foresight, and then a forgiveness that then released something for both of us in that moment, which was really epic feeling for both of us. And then it just faded, and our friendship, our relationship just faded. It didn't have necessity to be there anymore after, in the way that it had developed to a certain extent, because it was just straight up, he had an eye of mine, he needed to be forgiven, he needed to fucking apologize though, and it was on him.